Alright everybody, welcome back to Cooking with Charlie. Today we are going to do some panfish. These are some bunch of sunfish out of Minnesota Lake up here. There's ice fishing season, so time to make some fish. So here I've got about 3 or 4 tablespoons of some flour. I'm going to throw in some Cajun seasoning, just enough to kind of cover it like that. I don't really measure it, I just kind of look at it. I got some seasoned salt in here, doing kind of the same thing, just kind of covering the top of it, and some garlic, some granulated garlic, maybe a little extra more of that, and I got some pepper, just kind of covering the top. So this is what it looks like before I mix it, and all I'm trying to do is really season up that flour, and then I'm going to look at it, kind of eyeball the flour a little bit just to make sure to see if it's got some specks of seasoning going through it. Alright, looking pretty good. I might add a little bit more Cajun seasoning and maybe a little more garlic. I would say it's probably about 2 tablespoons of garlic to a tablespoon of Cajun, maybe a half a tablespoon of celery salt, or seasoned salt, sorry, and maybe half a tablespoon of pepper. And that's what it kind of looks like. It's kind of specks. Alright, so now all I'm going to do is throw in my fish that I've already filleted up, deboned, and cleaned them. So now I'm just kind of tossing them in flour. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pan fry these. I'm going to put them in about a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons of butter to a tablespoon of olive oil. And the olive oil is just so that I don't burn the butter. Alright. Alright, so now we've got our butter and our oil is already preheated. We're just going to slowly add our fish. Just kind of laying them out nice and flat. Got butter on them. Now this is just what I use for pan frying them. If I were to deep fry them, then I would use a beer batter type for it. If I was grilling them, I would just add some seasoning. I wouldn't add any flour. This flour helps kind of keep that seasoning stuck to the fish itself. And we're just going to let them cook until they get nice and a little bit golden brown and white and flaky. So I'm just adding them in there until I got enough room in my pan. I don't really want any edges touching, just enough in there. And just kind of let them cook for a couple of minutes, and then we'll flip them and do the same thing. Alright, so I got my little screen over the top of it so it helps keep some of the spatter down. And all I'm going to do now is just kind of flip them over. Those edges are looking nice and cooked. Alright. Yeah, looking good here. Looking nice and a little bit crispy and nice and white. Alright. With this fish, you want to make sure that they're white and flaky. If they're kind of transparent, then you got to cook them just a little bit longer. So you probably got another couple minutes and they'll be ready. Alright, so we're back. I'm going to take these off, putting them on a lined plate with some paper towel. Kind of help soak up some of that butter. Alright. This really only takes about 2 minutes per side, medium heat. Alright, look at those. Nice and golden brown, light crust on them. Not too thick in the batter. Just a nice little light flour batter. Alright, filling the pan back up again. think the hardest part is making sure you got them nice and flat and in the pan. Alright. Maybe one more piece on there. Alright, so we'll let that cook. And put our screen back over the top. And we'll give these a try. That's some really good sunfish right there. You got a little bit of heat from that Cajun seasoning. You can taste the garlic, a little bit of salt from the seasoned salt, a little bit of pepper. It's really good. Nice and flaky. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Ooh. But it is good. Now that's just how I pan fry them. If, like I said, if I was going to deep fry them, I'd throw them in a beer batter, nice and light beer batter. The lighter the batter on them, the better, I feel. All right, have a good day. Thanks for watching Pan Frying Fish with Charlie.